Hello, this is your host Lakota Ravoc, and welcome back to Outworld Station. We're back here in the Tau system, and things might look slightly different for one main reason. I had to restart my world. I accidentally deleted my save. You can see here on the map, positions are different. I should be able to do a side-by-side comparison here for you, or at least show you what the other one looked like. But yeah, I had to restart it. I was trying to delete a specific save and I hit the wrong button. But as you can see, like I made some slight upgrades. Like I have Mark II storage units now for the basic supplies, so they hold twice as much. I tried to keep the layout the same, so everything here has been duplicated. I watched my own videos to see what I did, and I duplicated everything. Even the substations are all identical. So this took me somewhere around like 8 hours to rebuild and reclaim. In the process of doing that, TrickJump changed how we do our upgrades. So now we have a little upgrade tab here, which is a little different for both the drone and the station. But now you can't upgrade Hubie's little abilities without actually having some tech. So in our new objectives panel, you see here there's some little yellow bars. These are items that haven't been done. In station level 4, we now have an equipment station and nano repair that we have to unlock. Equipment station, that allows you to actually build the tech for Hubie. The drone afterburner here, that is actually the speed boost that we get. And the fuel injection is actually the upgrade that we can unlock with upgrade points. Nano repair is just basically a consumable, which we can use to heal ourselves. And we can upgrade that with charged nanites. Station level 5 gives us an energy shield. So we got the drone shield, which allows us to defend against some hits, and the shield overcharge ability, which upgrades that. Station level 6 gives us the missile launcher, and we all know what that does, just fires missiles periodically, and we can upgrade that to make it fire it more frequently. And we are currently on station level 7, and we don't have any other upgrades, it's just the station levels. So we're going to go ahead and unlock these things. So let's get the equipment station unlocked. We need circuit boards and reinforced frames. And those should be pretty easy to get. Let's grab a stack of reinforced frames. We're actually going to need a lot of this. I've been letting it run during my off time, so it's getting supplies up. And the circuit boards we can just pull out of this fabricator. We've got plenty. And I think we're going to need some of those on hand for the next area. And we just got to drop them in our hub real quick. Plop and plop. There we go. Equipment station is now unlocked. We can build this equipment station. We can build the drone afterburner and unlock the upgrade for fuel injection. Now, here's the funny thing. They did that update while I was playing this game here, this specific save. I kept all my drone upgrades, and I still have 15 tech points unspent. I think it's a little bit of a bug because I was in the middle of the play, and it changed everything on me, so it kept the upgrades that I already spent the points on and refunded me the points. Don't know if TrickJump needs to look into this, but we're going to spend those 15 points and probably abuse this system a little bit. I'm too afraid to even try and reset those points. I don't know if I'll get 30 or just be left with a 15, so I'm just going to leave them alone. Just going to leave them there. We have this new equipment station right here. We'll need 15 nanoplating, 5 reinforced frames, and 25 circuits. Grab all of that, and let's go ahead and build that sucker up. I'm going to put that right here, using that little space we have as a gap for our little upgrades. We can now build a neutron laser, which is what we already have on us. And I've tested this out on another save. You cannot build multiples and get extra damage. Doesn't work. One's the limit. So we have to build this afterburner. That's going to take 25 small engines, 25 molecular bonding, and 5 basic frames. Well, it looks like all I need is the molecular bonding. The downfall is I am using a ton of that right now. I have to steal that from somewhere. There we go. I'm going to take that out. And you just tell how many you need to build. This is the one thing I don't understand is why we can build more than one when all you really need is one, unless we lose them if we get destroyed, which I have not tested. I'm going to test this on a personal playthrough where I change my design a little bit, and instead of making basic parts at the main station, I went to my satellite stations and set them up there. I'm doing testing on this personally, so I'm going to figure this out and see if satellite hubs are better at making basic parts versus having materials sent and then build them. I'm also thinking about doing live streams of me just playing and doing my own stuff as a lo-fi, basically meaning I'm just putting music to what I'm doing and not really talking and just playing for a couple of hours on a live stream. Like with Timberborn on a personal playthrough, Outworld Station with a personal playthrough, and things like that. We need to select an objective, go back to station level 4 and hit nano repair. We'll need artificial diamonds and molecular bonding. We've got the molecular bonding already, so let's drop that. And I think diamonds are over here. Yeah, here are diamonds right here. So let's nab a stack of diamonds because we'll probably need those for later anyways. And complete that objective. Okay, so the drone nano repair. This is literally a single-use consumable that instantly restores the drone's hit points. So far, I don't take enough damage that's necessary, but when we get farther down and into different areas, we may get a lot of damage. So this might become helpful later. So now here's the equipment that we made, the drone afterburner. We need to drag that over into one of these new equipment slots. You can see right here. And just snap that into place. Now we can actually use the afterburner feature again. And as we upgrade Hubie, we'll get additional slots. So you start with, I think, 3. You unlock one around like station level 4. And you get a 4th slot. I think there's a 5th slot available somewhere. So this allows us to get the equipment that we're making and actually use these abilities. I think this is a better option than just doing the upgrades like they used to before, because now we can actually tailor our drone. I love this idea. We're going to go to station level 5 here. We're going to unlock the energy shield. I do like this ability. And we need 25 superconductors for that, which I should have on hand. Oh, I do not. That's okay. I got plenty. We've unlocked the energy shield. We can now build that, and we're going to need 50 superconductors, which we have on hand already. Let's build one of those. Now, I do have to make a point. You need to leave this screen up to build. Otherwise, it cancels the building. Okay, so there's the drone energy shield. Let's drag that over and plop that on. And now we have a nice little bubble. Woo! Okay, next is the missile launcher. We need nitrox and small engines. Now, I don't have nitrox being made yet. Nitrox is a combination of oxygen and nitritium. We can make nitritium, but we can't make oxygen yet. Now, there's 2 main ways to make oxygen. One, you go to your ice water mine and you build another addition to that, which then gets you ice water directly from the mine. Or you wait till you upgrade to another area and you can actually harvest it directly from our source. For right now, we do have a new area that we can unlock, which is the Asteroid Belt Beta. And this will give us more resources, including tungsten ore. While we're waiting, we're going to make some upgrades. So we're going to upgrade our station now. And the first thing I want to do is upgrade the freighter engines. So we're going to actually upgrade those all the way to 100%. They're going to now double their speed. This is helpful. Granted, we carry less items per trip, but we get them there faster. The other thing I want to do is upgrade the miner output. Get that 25% more effective. That leaves us 2 tech points. We're going to add 1 to the advanced fusion, which is 15% extra fusion power generated. Always helpful. And then we're going to add 1 to this insulated modules. And that's going to give us less stun time to our station modules. Remember on the last episode where I said, don't know how we can upgrade a stun resistance? I played a bit already, but so far I have not found something to keep you from getting disabled from these electromagnetic storms. Well, this is how we do it. They've changed some features. So those are those extra 15 tech points that I had secretly stashed away somehow. Now at our satellite hubs, our miners are producing 150 resources a minute. It was currently 120. So that 25% more gave us 30 resources a minute. I want to upgrade all of our miners and all of our smelters so that way we can actually increase the production of our resources. This is going to be costly. We're going to need a lot of nanoplating and reinforced frames, as well as the superconductors and computers. So we're going to basically upgrade our satellite hubs here and double our output. Right, first and foremost, we're going to need a couple things of hull plating. We're going to need a few of the nanoplating. I'm going to grab some more of these reinforced frames, and let's get a couple stacks of computers and superconductors. On a miner, you upgrade from Mark 1 to Mark 2, it gives you 100% extra output of resources. So our previous 120 would go up to 240. This 150 a minute should go up to 300. Nice new look on it. It's even got some claws to keep it in place. But now we're currently making 300 water ice a minute. We're going to basically store up this water ice. Now we've got an extra amount of water ice coming in. These guys should be able to produce a lot easier without any problems and keep our fusion reactors fully stocked so they stay operational. Go around to the rest of the map and take care of the rest of these miners. All right, so on this carbon one, I just upgraded the miners, does a maximum of 300 a minute. The smelters, if you upgrade them to Mark II, they get an extra 35% production speed. 30 a minute, that upgrades them to 41.5 a minute, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to upgrade this one specific smelter and see what happens. It's actually getting 45 a minute. Wow, that is insane. And look at the texture. It got these little spouts on them, like heat spouts. Heat sinks maybe? I don't know. That's cool looking. 45 a minute. 4 of these is 180 a minute. Is that right? 45, 90. Yeah, 180 a minute. And if this is producing 300 a minute, 6 of these is 270, leaving us an excess of resources, which could be easily countered by one tier 1 miner. So let's upgrade some of these smelters really fast. Not that I need these resources right now. Now, the one thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to actually make a second one of these molecular bonding smelters and attach it to the side over here. So that should increase our smelting for that and get us more molecular bonding, because we are lacking on that in our storage for some weird reason. It ain't pretty, but she will do the job. That's the last one done. That should double our output, at least on the molecular bonding. Another thing I'm going to do is I need a lot more of those plates than I do these frames. So we're going to switch this recipe to nano plating. I just need to fill this storage box. All right, with those upgrades out of the way, let's go ahead and go to station 2 here. Oh, we still need to name it. It still says Alpha Station. Let's change that to Lakota 2. All right, so on Lakota 2, what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these wormholes right here. Then we need to rotate it so we've got the inputs closer to what we're going to be gathering. And we're going to put some more of these cloud miners on this other arm over here so that it can help support the power for a new station. All right, let's go to the new Asteroid Belt. So Asteroid Belt 2 is a large size with a pretty high enemy strength, a lot of sunlight power, and no cyclonic power. It has titanium, gold, silica, carbon, and tungsten. Let's warp in. Oh, we got a nice orange background. All right, so now we got a new hub. And you see these little asteroids here, they're tungsten asteroids. You can tell by that little green speckled color on them. So I'm going to go ahead and set up our hub like we normally do. I'll be right back. So we've got the station up, built like we normally do. We've got our wormhole terminus areas. We've got the arms. We've got our shipping dock area. And we've got solar panels to start it going. And we'll probably change these to fusion reactors later, but I needed the power to get it going, and we have a high solar content here, so really helpful. You can see we've got quite a big map we're going to have to unlock, so I will do that in just a little bit so we can see where all of our resources are going to be. Put some small storage units in place like before for resources, and just a line across for some built stuff. And add a couple artifact analyzers down here so that once we get artifacts, we can bring them in here and drop them off. And I'm not going to start with our freighter docks yet. I do want to see what we have available to us. All right, so there's our basic hub layout right there. Go ahead and unlock the map and see what we've got available to us. Doing that, I've angered quite a few people. And you see now we have shielded enemies. These are called armadillos, and they can hurt quite a bit. The thing is, they run away if you break their shields. They don't have a lot of health. Ooh, energy depleted already. I need to upgrade that. This is where that consumable would have come in handy. Now we've got the whole map unlocked. We've got a couple carbon nodes, tungsten nodes, a gold node, of course, some titanium nodes, and some silica nodes. So it looks like we've got 2 silica, 3 titanium, 3 tungsten, 2 carbon, and 1 gold. Thankfully, our tungsten ore is very, very close. Now, before we can do anything with this area in Asteroid Belt 2, we're going to have to unlock this alloy production in the station level 7. That's going to need nanoplating and reinforced frames. That'll get us a plasma forge, tungsten ingots, and super alloy ingots. Now, super alloy can only be made in plasma forge, and it mixes tungsten with titanium. So we'll get that unlocked in a little bit. I still have yet to go around Titania and collect all the little derelict ships and other upgrade points. So I want to nab those first, get our points and unlock everything there. So I'm going to go take care of that and be back in a little bit. Welcome back. Now, when I play, I record in increments. And today is July 23rd, and we just happened to get a new update. And that new update brings forth blueprints. We can actually copy blueprints now and build stations from those blueprints. This is exciting. I am dying to try this out. So I logged back in after taking a little break after gathering, a bunch of upgrade points to this. New objectives. New objectives have become available in the objectives panel. Station level 4, blueprints. Let's go take a look at that real quick because I'm excited. Unlocks the ability to a blueprint from modules selected using the multi-select tool, which can then be easily placed onto your station. Good Lord, why do people have to write like this? And all we need is 25 computers for that. So let's select that objective, complete that objective. We now have blueprints. Now, I don't know how this is going to work. This is brand new. You're now available from the multi-select tool pop-up menu. Once you've selected multiple modules using the multi-select tool, you can create a blueprint which can then be placed from the build menu. Ooh, here we go. Multi-select mode right there. That's a new key. Hotkey insert. Okay. Oh, multi-select 50 items. Hopefully we can upgrade this. Hold shift to deselect, drag left mouse button to multi-select. Okay, let's try something. Let's go to station 3. And this is like our basic starting station, right? So let's go ahead and drag our left mouse button. Oh, just drag it over each module. Okay, like that. Unfortunately, you can't do a lot. You really need a much larger tool. But this will be good for like smaller ones. I'm going to go back. Now here in Asteroid Belt 1, we're going to select one of our mines. Here we go. There's a silica mine right here. Now this has the upgraded Mark II miner and the upgraded smelters. All right, so we've got those. We can toggle the power on and off to all of them. Cancel all selected module operations. Clear their links. Link all of them. Refresh their links, which is actually going to be really handy. Take all items, which would basically break Hubie. Sell all the modules. Makes this a lot easier to deconstruct a station. And then create blueprint. You can change the inputs and outputs here. It looks like max power for fuel, input items, max output items, selected recipes. You can do everything on this. This is amazing. So create a blueprint and blueprint. Let's title this Mark II Silica. Ooh, I like this. Okay. So now under build, we have blueprints right here. Mark II Silica. We can literally just plop it down. Oh, this is so exciting.
I was gonna pee myself.
Can you rotate though? That's the thing. We'll have to find out. We're gonna put that in our new area. I'm gonna go around and grab blueprints for all of these, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I got blueprints for my silica, titanium, carbon, gold, and 3 parts of my power station. And unfortunately, you can only select so many parts, and it won't let you select in a larger area. So trying to point out, I'm just gonna select a bunch of these, grab 50. Okay, so there's 50 items right there. If I go to make a blueprint, you can see there, it has to be within this square. So that kind of limits the size of your blueprints. You have to make smaller sections. It's a little inconvenient. Hopefully, there's upgrades to this later down the road, but a very, very handy feature. And I hope we can get more items and bigger blueprints as this game progresses. I love this idea. It's going to make life so much easier. All right, back here in Titania, I did grab almost all of the upgrade points. There's 2 here that I need to get. Unfortunately, I just don't have the materials for it. I haven't been able to find them. I'm hoping that in Asteroid Belt 2, I'll be able to find the pieces I need to unlock those two. But I did grab 19 points down here, so let's go ahead and upgrade ourselves. And I'm going to upgrade Hubie now. So I'm going to get additional heavy thrusters for more carry weight, more laser power, an increased fusion core by a couple of slots. This way I can store more energy and recharge faster. Get a little more speed in the fuel injection for our afterburners. And then I'm going to add a little bit of shield charge, give ourselves a little more defense. And I'm going to save the last 3 points for when we unlock the missiles. That's going to help out quite a bit. And as you can see, I also collected a bunch of ships as well. So I've got a lot of fueled ships here for when we actually do other things. One other thing they added was they added extra hotbars. So all I got to do is hit Alt and then move the mouse wheel. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Hotbars. I love hotbars. So we can now add additional items to our hotbars. So you make like one for just storage and power, one for manufacturing, one for mining, things like that. It's going to make things so much better. All right, so we now need to get that nitrox built so we can get our missile launchers. So to make nitrox, we need to put down some refineries. Unfortunately, we need oxygen, and we're going to have to produce that on our power station. So in this little open slot, we're going to build an oxygen refinery. Now with the Mark II miner getting 300 a minute from this mine, we'll be able to supply our refinery. We're going to make that into pure water, transport the carbon to the freighter dock, add 2 additional refineries, and make them oxygen. Now this is where it gets tricky, because we need to unlock enhanced logistics to upgrade our freighter docks and our freighters to transport liquids and gases. We can't do that without the super alloy, so we're just preparing to do this and unlock that enhanced logistics afterwards. So eventually this freighter dock for the carbon is also going to transport the oxygen. So we need to set up a supply chain for that. So we just need to pipe everything up and get it kind of prepared. Now the other downfall is that oxygen is produced at a 5-to-1 ratio instead of a 1-to-5 ratio. So it takes 5 water to make 1 oxygen. It's much, much slower. So getting this kind of prepared and ready to go is going to help us out a lot. Well, since we got Asteroid 2 unlocked, we're going to start laying down some blueprints. And the first thing we're going to want to do is start mining this tungsten ore, along with the titanium. Let's try our titanium blueprint. Middle mouse button, rotate. Oop, oop, there we go. Look at that. Placed everything down in one fell swoop. That's amazing. Okay, so now we have to do one thing here. Select our smelters and select the recipe. Ooh, I don't have a recipe. I need to do alloy production first so I can get the tungsten recipe. That shouldn't be too difficult. I should have everything on me. Getting ahead of myself, apparently. There we go. All done. And we also need to rename these things, unfortunately, because all the names come with it. In the meantime, we're just going to have to make some solar panels just to get it running. Now that we have that recipe unlocked, let's go ahead and select these 4 smelters. Change the recipe to tungsten. So now all 4 of them are tungsten. Now, unfortunately, tungsten's got a worse recipe. It takes 2 tungsten to make 1 ingot, so their ratio is much slower. So we may have to put extra smelters down to kind of balance this out with the titanium. Now, there's our closest titanium ore, so we're going to go to this one here. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and save this recipe for the other tungsten mines that we have. Build that titanium mine right there. And same thing, we're going to add some solar sails in there. Whoa, getting attacked. Let's get some freighter docks down. That'll be gold, tungsten, and titanium. Right now in production, we have a new thing, the plasma forge. This combines tungsten and titanium and makes super alloy. I'm going to plop a couple down on the outside here and select the super alloy recipe. Now that takes 4 tungsten and 4 titanium to make 1 super alloy. 24 minutes apiece to make 6 apiece. So having multiples of these plasma forges is very important. Get these freighters starting to pick up some tungsten. So we're going to actually transport the super alloy out of this system into our main hub. We're going to need a couple wormhole terminuses. Put one up here for power. And then we're going to put one down here. And that's going to be going back to our main station. We're going to need to make a linking terminus at the main station. I'm going to put that down here and link those two together. And what we may do is we actually might change some of the manufacturing so the parts are getting manufactured here and then get sent over. But then right now, I'm not too worried about it. But since we have the super alloy being constructed, let's select enhanced logistics for our new objective. So that way we can make Mark II freighter docks and Mark II freighters. And now that we have our wormhole terminuses up, we need to start transporting hydrogen over to the Asteroid Belt 2. So let's grab some of these cloud miners and plop down 5 of those bad boys. Start piping all that in. There we go. We got hydrogen coming in. And add a power link, and we'll be able to start powering up our other stations a little bit. So I'm going to link this tungsten and titanium to the power hub. And as we've been doing that, the super alloy's been coming in. So we've got that getting stored up over here. 12 in a minute is not very fast, but once we can increase the production, we'll be able to get a lot more super alloy. But since we got some, let's go ahead and unlock our enhanced logistics. We can now upgrade our transports to Mark II, which is going to help us a lot. The next thing I want to unlock is the bioextractor. This is going to allow us to get nitratium from 3 mining nodes we have available. So we're going to need to build ourselves a blueprint for that. But since we can now transport gases, let's go ahead and upgrade this freighter dock and the freighter it's attached to. So now the freighter can transport gases or liquids. Now you see right there, the freighter dock actually has 2 nodes that we can connect to. We're going to have to make a double pipe junction here. Bring that down, and we now have oxygen going in. So now that oxygen is going to need to be transported to our titania outpost. This is where the fun begins. We actually have to pipe it all the way over. All right, so I just rearranged our loading dock a little bit, added a couple extra turrets for defense, and upgraded the receiving freighter dock for oxygen. And like always, time to pipe it all back in. All right, and now that that's all piped in, granted, not the most beautiful job, we're now sending oxygen over to Station 2. And this is a temporary fix until we can get to Glacialis. We now need to send this oxygen over to our refineries. It involves more piping. Actually going to move this one here. Make my build a little imbalanced. We now have oxygen going into the refineries. You just need to get the nitratium in there. I'm going to go ahead and unlock that bioextractor. We now have that available to us. We can now go around the map and start mining these nitratium nodes. Okay, so a bioextractor costs 25 super alloy, 25 reinforced frames, 50 carbon nanotubes, and 10 computers. I think we're going to need to get some super alloy. And the good thing is we've been storing it up. We've got 234 super alloys stored. And let's go make our first bioextractor. All right, so several of these plants are sticking out of the clouds. And that's where we can place a bioextractor. It's a little crude. Drop that sucker right there. Rips himself in. Okay, so now we got that up. It gets 120 a minute. And we just want to transport that nitratium back to the base. Let's build ourselves a module here. Kind of like that. Defense for the birds. And transport dock. I'm going to go ahead and select all these modules so that we can make a blueprint for that. So that'll be easy to recreate now. Drop a power link right here. And let's link those two together. Now that should be getting power. Last thing we're going to need is a dock on this side. So let's put a freighter dock right here and start sending it over. Unfortunately, nitratium is kind of a slow process. It's each taking 60 a minute to produce 6 a minute. So we want to try and get as much of this in as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and drop more miners down on those other sources and fix this up, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, got our nitratium miners up and running. Those extractors are pulling out nitratium from all 3 resources. And we built a little factory system here. And we're sending all those resources back to our main hub. So we need to store those now. We now have nitrox, highly concentrated explosive used in weapon production. That sounds like it's going to be a fun time for us. I think we did good. We got our nitrox being processed. We got our super alloys being processed. Next thing we need to do is upgrade and go to the next area, which is Glacialis. So we'll probably do that on the next one. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and give me a comment. And we'll see you on the next one. So this is going to be Lakota Ravoc signing off. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye. What was that? You're welcome, buddy.